All right, here I am on the Visger Road railroad crossing in Ecorse, Michigan. Now, this is another one of those crossings, that I've been, requested to do in my next Wyandotte trip, in which here I am. So this one is owned by both the Conrail Detroit Shoreline and the CN Shoreline subdivision. The CN Flat Rock subdivision, curbs that way sometime after Emmons Boulevard, and it actually crosses West Jefferson Avenue, in which I was going to tour those crossings next. But yeah, it's just Conrail and CN Shoreline on this one, and another reason why it's like this is because the Conrail River Rouge Yard is just right over there. I think that's what it's called, the River Rouge Yard. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, the yard is right over there, which make this the biggest crossing, Ecorse, Wyandotte, and Trenton crossing to ever exist, with a whopping 7 tracks if you count this crossbuck crossing right here. So yeah, I guess with all that said, let's go ahead and get with the tour. So for this first crossing, I'm gonna go ahead and show. I think this one has a dot tag on the side. No, it doesn't actually. That's just a piece of cardboard. But yeah, so here's crossbuck number 1 mounted on the telephone pole with the 1-track sign, which is pretty neat. And here's crossbuck 2. Now, this is a little spur track that they use sometimes, but I don't think they hardly use it anymore. But this, and also right here, as you can see, is a Wayland siren. It's either a Vortex or a 4004, I forgot. But yeah, that's that for you. Now, with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get on with the actual signals. So yeah, with the first signal right here, which is owned by the CN Shoreline subdivision, this has a SafeTran base. And here's the emergency information for the Shoreline sub, and the dot number is 867-600Y. And yeah, there isn't really much around here. Probably another signal used to be here, and they took it out and put this one in. But yeah, and for the gate mechanism on this signal, this has a SafeTran gate mechanism. Yep, and then for the lights, this has 2 pairs of SafeTran 12x24-inch LEDs. Once again, I think they're either G uniform or Dialight, kind of forgot. And this once again sits on a SafeTran junction box. Yep, and then for the bell on this one, this has a low-pitched Siemens electronic bell. Yep, I heard this crossing in action in a few videos before, so I know some of the bells, but like not all. But yeah, there isn't a whole lot of videos on this crossing. So yeah, that's signal number 1. Let's go ahead and go on to the next signal right here. So for the next signal, this has a SafeTran base, like the older gen one. And here's the emergency information and the dot number for the CN Shoreline sub again. And then for the lights, once again, this has 2 more pairs of SafeTran 12x24-inch LEDs on another SafeTran junction box. And then for the bell, this has a high-pitched Siemens electronic bell, which is pretty neat. I think I hear something coming. Yeah, I can hear some heavy machinery, so if the crossing activates, then this video is donezo. But yeah, and also a weird thing about this particular mass signal, this crossing is wired weirdly. So when a train is not on these particular tracks, this crossing shuts off. There's nothing happens. The bell doesn't ring, the lights don't come on. But when a train does, this whole signal activates, which is wonky. But oh well, I guess that's how they had to do it. So yeah, that's the mass signal. Let's go ahead and go on to the rest of the signals, which are all owned by the Conrail Shoreline subdivision, Detroit Shoreline. But yeah, so for the next signal, once again, this has another SafeTran base. And here's the emergency information right here. There are blue tags, well, only on some of them, but the dot number is right here on the sticker. So the dot number for this Conrail Detroit Shoreline on this one is 511630F. And looks like somebody's grave is right there. Might have to stay away from it. But yeah, and then for the lights, this has 2 pairs of Western Cole & Hayes 12x20-inch LEDs. Well, it has the 2nd-gen LEDs in them, which is pretty neat. And these all sit on a SafeTran junction box. It's pretty neat. And for the bell, this has a General Signals Type 3 electronic bell. Now, I think this is a post-2016 install, so quite possibly. But yeah. So that's that. Let's go ahead and go on to the next signal, which is way over here, because these 2 signals protect these 2 tracks, which is pretty weird, but kind of cool. So for the next signal, once again, this has another SafeTran base. And here's the emergency information once again. And if you look right here, there's an old Conrail dot tag with the same number, and also Ann Arbor Railroad, which is pretty cool. And then for the bell, for the lights, this has once again 2 more pairs of Western Cole & Hayes 12x20-inch LEDs. I kind of like how they put the dotted LEDs in these signals. Gives this crossing character. Oh yeah, and then for the bell, here's the unknown part. This has either a General Signals Type 2 or a Type 3 electronic bell. Now, people got videos of this crossing before, but not like on all the signals. So some of these have Type 2, some of these have Type 3, so I'm not totally sure. Maybe somebody out there knows. But yeah, that's that. And then let's go ahead and move on to the next signal, which has a Siemens base, as you can see. And here's the emergency information once again for Conrail. And then for lights, once again, 2 more pairs of Western Cole & Hayes 12 by 20 inch LEDs. Kind of like the shape of the visors on these. It's pretty unique. And once again, on another SafeTran junction box. And for the bell, this has another General Signals Type 3 or Type 2. It might be a Type 3 because it's sitting on a Siemens base, because usually the newer Conrail signals sit on like Siemens equipment. Well, particularly the ones that have General Signals Type 3s. So, yeah. Or it could be a Type 2, I don't know. It looked pretty beat up. So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next signal, which has a Cerami base, which is pretty interesting. And once again, here's another, dot tag slapped right on the side. And you can see, here's the Conrail repair track facility / yard. Now, I know what you're thinking. Conrail should be a fallen flag, which it is, but it's become a maintenance company now that's owned by Norfolk Southern. So you'll see a whole lot of Norfolk Southern go through here. But yeah, and also the stop and red signal on this one is pretty beat up too. So, and once again, for the lights, this has 2 more pairs of Western Cole & Hayes 12 by 20 inch LEDs, 2nd gen. Yep, and then for the bell, once again, has another General Signals Type 2, possibly, or a Type 3 electronic bell. Jeez, there's like tons of things coming. Well, coming around me. I can't see because of the fog, which freaks me out because there could be a train coming and I wouldn't even know. So yeah, shoot, there might be. But yeah, here's go ahead and go on to the next mass signal, which has another Cerami base. And here's the emergency information and the dot number again. Foiled the sticker, not the blue tag. But yeah, and then for the lights, this has 2 more pairs of Western Cole & Hayes 12 by 20 inch LEDs. Once again, on another SafeTran junction box. And for the bell, this has a General Signals Type 2 electronic bell. Either Type 2 or Type 3. I think it's a Type 2 though. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the last and final signal of this big crossing, which is the Conrail gated signal. So yeah, here's final signal, which has a SafeTran base. And here's the emergency information and the dot tag again. There's a dot tag on the gate and a blue tag, which is pretty neat. So yeah, I can hear somebody switching. Yeah, I can hear some switching going on. So yeah, and for the gate mechanism, once again, has another SafeTran gate mechanism. And for the lights, this has 2 more pairs of Western Cole & Hayes 12 by 20 inch LEDs. Well, this actually might be SafeTran. I'm not too sure. Could be SafeTran, could be Western Cole & Hayes, but judging from the backs, it's probably Western Cole & Hayes. But yeah, and then this has another SafeTran junction box. And then for the bell, this has a General Signals Type 2 electronic bell. Now, I heard this crossing in action, and this, other gated signal may have a GS Type 2. But yeah. Oh, there's a locomotive down there. So you can see from the track view, you can see there's the yard and a locomotive that's heading my way. And down here heads towards, Jefferson Avenue and all those crossings, such as like King Road and whatnot. But yeah, this right here, I'm gonna finish this tour really quick. This is the Visger Road railroad crossing in Ecorse, Michigan. Quite the large crossing, if you ask me. But yeah, that's that for you. Over and out. Boom.